Seconds before 6:30.
It's gonna come right in.
That's what I was trying to think of.
Oh, but that gives me that,
Okay, call to order the city.
He's here.
Again, I'll try it again. I'll call to order the city council for the city of Hayes for January 13th, 2025. We'll have roll call.
Thomas.
Tony. I'm
Tony Valdez.
Tom Lemon.
Rosa Colton. And this place.
Lydia Bryan Rhoda.
And Barbara Davis. And now we'll have the purchase. Oh, it's
Christine Doan.
No, not.
I pledge
I pledge allegiance
to the flag
of the United States of America
and
and
to
to
the
the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible.
That's all.
That's everything.
Yeah, that's not the way I remember it.
Yeah, a copy of the pledge right here.
I remember. On that side.
So, next is public comments. Anybody want to make a public comment besides me? First thing is we had a resident that got her water cut off. And she filed a complaint with the PUC, Public Utility, which upset me because I told PGMS to turn the water back on and they did. She seemed happy about it. But her issue was, well, I got a notice and I went on the PGMS website to pay my bill and they have a drop down and they list 3 water utilities, but they don't list the city of Hayes. They only list Elliott Ranch. So she said, well, I guess that means both. And so she put in her number. And of course, it went credited to an Elliott Ranch person. And so she didn't get credit. And so PGMS came and turned off her water. And then she got mad and I got lucky enough to get involved in it. And, I saw that it was just a, human error and that the water needed to be turned back on. She was real happy. Thank you. But unknown to me, she filed this complaint, which didn't make me happy to say the least. But I went on the site on the PGMS like I was going to pay by credit card, and it's a mess. It doesn't have the city of water. So her complaint was totally justified, in my opinion. I called PGMS and I said, why isn't the city of Hayes on there? And they said, well, we really don't want that on there because we don't want to disclose how many water systems we manage. So I said, you need to talk to Patrick who owns it and either take them all off or put them all on there. You can't do it halfway because it's, especially for us, it's confusing. I don't know how people do the credit card. She said, well, it's on the water bill, where the website, I think, to do it. And I also would encourage everybody to pay by either do direct deposit or pay by check, because the fees are really high. So anyways, what I plan to do is, because she said there's a $50 connection fee. And she said, I'm not going to pay it. And so I'm going to tell PGMS, no, don't charge her the connection fees. It's not, it's really your fault. And they charge us $50 to disconnect and $50 to reconnect. So we pay $100, but in our water tariff, we only charge $50. So it doesn't happen that often, but obviously that needs to be corrected and we probably need to charge people $75. So we make a little bit of money off of that. Cause it's pretty irresponsible for somebody to, well, if they have money, it's irresponsible for them to get their water cut off. But if they don't have money, of course, we would encourage them to come to the city and, because we do have a fund to help out people that like can't pay their water and needed a little help. So anyways, I just wanted to relate that. It's not something that's on the agenda, but it's kind of a interesting story. And I also wanted to say how sad I was about the great football loss. Where Penn State beat SMU.
Oh.
and we
Oh,
were-
that's it.
and
The hell?
we were playing.
I thought you were sad about the Longhorns.
He's happy.
And
The SMU.
we were planning, yeah, we were one of the 12, and we were planning to win it all. I thought we really were.
Why
And-
not?
I did expect Texas to win it all, so there you go.
But,
There you go.
Then we would club it. I knew it happened.
but our quarterback, he choked so bad, he's so sad.
And one gone.
And then to top it all, our women's basketball team
Gosh.
had the worst
Oh.
comeback loss in women's basketball history.
Oh
They
my
were
God.
ahead by 32 points,
Wow.
They were ahead.
31 points at halftime, and they played a whole quarter. They didn't, they have 4 quarters. They played a whole quarter, they didn't score a point. And they're playing Pittsburgh. And Pittsburgh scored 28 points and then Pittsburgh ended up winning by 13 points. And we were ahead.
You know,
So
they're playing, they were
Out of the jaws.
they were playing South Carolina.
And it even made, it made the,
Oh, we're talking about SMU, excuse
it
me.
made, oh yeah,
I'm sorry. The hell with.
I do this every meeting where I update you all on SMU athletics.
Did you go to school at SMU?
No, he didn't.
No.
Of course it did. But his dad was the big part of
Was
this.
a lot.
Yeah, he was a professor and he started taking me when I was 6 years old, so I.
That's awesome.
Passionate friend, and I cried whenever we lost, and he told me he would disown me if I went to Texas A&M.
Just don't.
Oh, well.
So you didn't wear your Letterman today. Hey, Harvey, you should have worn your
Live
Letterman today.
between my.
Yeah, sure.
You should have worn your Letterman.
It would have, they won.
Kansas. Kansas.
1 degree or whatever.
Kansas. Mayor Harvey just found his SMU Letterman jacket.
Oh.
That's awesome.
See the things you find when
Best
you
in
clear
there.
out. The things you find when you clean things out.
Yeah,
They downsized,
I was so happy. Anyway, that's my public comment. I took over 3 minutes.
Okay.
Is Josh on the call?
Mhm.
So we're going to be just kind of listening.
No, it doesn't yet.
Just us right now.
We'll proceed on item 4A, take action to approve minutes for meetings on December 9th and December 22nd, 2024. Do we have a motion to approve?
A motion to approve the minutes?
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
That's passed by unanimous. Item 4B is receive and take appropriate action to approve the December and November financial reports. I'll just kind of briefly go over December. We had $1.9 million in Broadway Bank at Peck School. Most of it's in Peck School. And the expenses exceeded the revenue by a little over $33,000. And that's because we did pay we made a partial payment for the new well. And, and that was $62,000. As you may know, that's really a capital expenditure. It wouldn't be an operating expense, but we'll transfer that over to a capital expenditure at the end of the year because during the year I do these financial reports on cash in and cash out, and so it's shown as an expense. Any questions?
One thing, on the balance sheet, it says December 31st, 2025, that should be 24, I think it was a typo. Am I right?
Yes, it was typo by your name. Thank you.
I just thought for the records it should.
I'll answer. 25, sorry about that. So if there are no questions, then we'll move on to item 4C, receive presentations of the FY 24 financial statements and to take appropriate action. And this is something I want to go over in a little more detail because what I've done is at the end of the year converted the statement to a full accrual basis, meaning I've put all the expenses in FY 25 and 24 and FY 24 and revenue also in the proper period. So we have accounts payable and things like that. And this I've done everything correctly. This will pretty much look like what the audited. So I wanted to show you a few things. We have on here, we have revenue over expenses, almost 64,000. We have a lot of common expenses like payroll, because we have government services in the water system. So we have to allocate a lot of expenses like office and payroll, and most of them we have to allocate them between the two. Usually it's 1/3 for government and 2/3 for water. So that's the way it's allocated. Not every expense, like depreciation, it's done exactly based on the asset. So we had 63,000 revenue over expenses for the year. We had 91,585 interest income. So that's going down because the Fed has lowered the rates. And if we made over 70,000, I'd be really happy. But so that figure is going down. And we had years of where interest rates were zero.
Right.
And so that figure was maybe $500 for the year. So that can be really volatile, and it's not something we can depend on every year. You can tell if you look, I didn't put this down, but you look at property taxes, 21,842, sales taxes, almost 31,000. So we actually collect more in sales tax and property taxes. And I'm going to take, when we do the budget and set the tax rate, I think that's something we need to really seriously look at, because with that amount of property taxes, we're not going to have the revenue to repair the roads, to maintain the upkeep in the city that we want to do. I do see us increasing taxes. You know, we had the CCN releases, 20,000. That's a one-time deal. You know, we're not gonna have that this year. So, but, you know, again, the allocation, there's in there on the bottom, prior period adjustment, 6,300. That's some payroll tax penalties for failure to pay. Failure to file. Years back, you know, when we were getting caught up but that was never assessed. And that's not gonna, so, you know, we asked for abatements and although I never got a formal letter that's saying they were gonna abate it, they never have charged us, and it's past the statute of limitation. So anyways, it's just a paper entry because I had accrued it as an expense. Now we're taking it back into income. So 6,300. So our water revenue was 271,000, which is really low this year. I'm pretty sure we raised water rates, as you know, and hopefully this figure will rise a little bit, or hopefully quite a bit. PGMS, we pay a lot of money to PGMS, so that was over 85,000. So that's just a gross margin of water income less PGMS. You know, it's one of our biggest expenses. Trash is also big. It's pretty well offset. We make a whole money on the trash income and expenses.
How much do we make on the waste disposal and sanitation?
It shows a little over $1,000. So it's not much, but we do charge more. So this is I think as accurate a picture as I could come up with for separating the two, and this will hopefully show what the audit, which I think the audit will be starting pretty soon, hopefully within the next month. Any questions on this? I think I recorded the dates right.
Okay.
Sorry, I just called it.
Oh, no, I appreciate it. No, I don't mean it that way.
I think you got it.
Not at all.
I'm not always that good noticer, but
No. So. We'll move on then.
One question, Mayor Harvey.
Yes.
Are we going to be transferring money from tech school to the general fund at Broadway to cover the well expense?
Yes, I transferred 70,000. In December, I think it was, and I'll transfer another 70 because we paid the balance. I think we paid another bill of a little over $6,000.
So 70 in December and then 70 in January?
January, February. Yep.
Thank you, sir.
Mhm. So-
The motion to approve December and November.
It's not, we don't need to, didn't necessarily
We
have
need
to
to approve it. Okay.
We can. We'll skip 4D. Did you call Josh? Receive update and take appropriate action regarding stage 3 route. Make sure.
See, Josh says that the Zoom says host has another meeting in progress as he's trying to come in. It has not worked yet. Because we logged on and off.
So if I end this meeting, there'll be 2 recordings. So should I
We can
invite
put
him to
him on
this
the
one or just start on the new one? Or can we call him? Is that possible?
Get him on the
To
phone.
keep one video.
Would you like for us to call in an executive session?
Yeah, well, it's probably what we usually do.
Yes, we should.
Let's do that so that we won't split up the video and it'll be one recording on the website.
We're going into executive session to take up 2 items. First is 4D, receive update and take appropriate action regarding status of the city secretary. And we'll also take up item 5H, receive update, date, and take appropriate action regarding Hayes Commons development application to the Texas Commission on Environmental Quality to create a municipal utility district within the city of Hayes's former PTJ. So we'll retire.
6:51.
Chair.
Don was trying to get in too.
When you put a chair.
I'll call him when we get in.
Okay. But does he need to be in executive session? No, right?
Huh?
He doesn't need to be in executive session, Don? Does he?
Yes, he would be good to have. They're
Executive session?
Yeah.
Okay.
very much involved.
Then,
But
that's right. Okay. I'm supposed to be on the council today. Oh, yeah. I asked him today, why is this knee twice the size of this knee? So it's gonna be there for about a year. We'll be right back now.
Are we not gonna be having this meeting on YouTube because?
Yes, it'll still be on YouTube. It's recorded. What happened is the first time my mom started the meeting, she didn't start it under this meeting ID. So when I selected new, like, join meeting again, join in a new meeting, but not this meeting. But we will still have a recording of this meeting. We are still, it's still on.
Good.
It's recording, yeah. Executive session ended.
Asked if we needed for Dick to stay on, or tell him if we need anything, we'll call him right back.
Need to call Don and get an update.
Okay, we're back from. Okay, Rob.
Okay. It was warm in there.
Yeah, it was one. Yeah. Think about it.
Looks kind of spotty. Chocolate looks kind of spotty. Looks kind of spotty.
I don't, I wasn't quite that.
Yep. I'm gonna skip
I ate it
Dad
anyway.
ate like a 3-year-old.
What?
Granola bar. and that
It didn't
much-
taste bad.
Where?
Did you
By
get
the time
some?
you ate that granola bar.
Oh, that was like 3 years
old.
expired.
Oh, yeah. I didn't die, so I'm doing okay.
Are there any in there?
You need a debit card so we can get new.
All right, we're
Actually, executive session.
Spots.
Can we, can we have the council's attention, please? We're back from executive session. Item 4D, which was the issue on the status of city secretary. I believe there's no action that's going to be taken unless somebody wishes to make a motion. So then we also discussed item 5H, receive update and take appropriate action regarding the Hayes Common mud application. Was there any action that anybody would like to make?
I'm sorry.
Can I make a suggestion? Would suggest somebody made a motion to instruct our lawyer that we wish to not proceed on with the mud application because other parties are going to pick up that application with SOS and we'll save them. So if somebody wants to make that motion. If not, we'll move on.
It's punch on it.
Hmm?
Kick the can down the curb
So the council's position is we're still
on the sideline.
on the sideline.
Right.
Right. Item 4E is receive update and take appropriate action regarding stage 3 drought. I'm not sure why this is on the agenda,
Not sure either.
but we're in stage 3 drought. I will say that I instructed PGMS to send a letter to all the Elliott Ranch residents who have used more than 20,000 gallons of water. Telling them that we're, explaining that we're in a drought, we're in crisis, and you're using too much water. And that if you continue to use it, then the little thing that they put on-
Flow restrictor.
flow
Water
restrictor,
restrictor. Mhm.
they're gonna get a flow restrictor. So,
Is that per month? They're usually 20,000 per
Mhm.
month.
Yes.
More than that.
I think they're like 18. Some use, some are more than 30,000.
30,000.
And that's who the flow
And
would be applicable to, right? The 30,000 user, not the 20,000.
that's right.
Yeah.
It's on the,
Okay, let's be, whoever wants to talk can talk all they want, but let's one person talk at a time.
the flow restrictor would apply for our water regulations we approved.
Yes. Right, now, Rose, did you have something you want to say?
No, I was just so astounded that so they could use that much water. I don't even water my yard. I do water my house.
Well, if you got a lot of money in a big house,
I don't think I do it though.
but it does tell them if you have like a creek that you can only water your yard by hand. And only one, and you cannot fill your your darn swimming pool with water.
Do they have restricted days to water? I thought in the summer, do we have that?
They didn't mention that.
Once a week, that's what I put in my lease happening, because I get it from the BSCACD, but it's once a week, and it's not like Sebuda has certain days, some places do, but
Right,
they say just once a week.
But we say, we have certain gallons. We have certain gallons we can use. a month.
Well, yeah,
That's the main.
only water once. a
Hello.
week.
might be a minute. Hello,
Hi, Harvey, it's Bill.
oh, Bill,
As in Oliver.
yeah, let me call you, we're still having a city council meeting.
Oh, my gosh, okay, 5 days or 2 hours.
Well, something in between the two.
Take your time, get it over to see Virginia, everything is fine.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks, bye-bye.
It's a song.
So, excuse me. Anything else anybody want to talk about on the draft three?
We're close to 4, do we know?
We're getting close.
How close, how close are we?
Website, you'll see the little picture, and we are very getting.
I know what you're saying about
And what happens at stage 4?
Okay, let's. One at a time, please. Are we finished with that draft three?
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
4F, receive update and take action regarding mayor's compensation. As you probably know, I've been keeping a timesheet. But, I didn't keep one in November. I didn't even charge any time. It was just $2,000. And then December, I didn't keep a timesheet. I took 20 hours, but I also took some sick leave that month. What I wish to do is to just take 20 hours a month and not keep a timesheet for the rest of the year.
Salary. A
Yeah.
salary.
Right,
Big salary. And what is the salary rate, sir?
$30 an hour.
That's not enough.
Huh?
That's not enough.
Yeah, it's not enough.
It's fine.
And so it's a total of $600 a month of flat
That's right.
fee. I'd like to
Well-
file a motion.
20 times 30 is 6.
Absolutely.
That's right. Math is correct.
We wanted to,
But I
to take a higher one.
approve sick leave pay. That's something about too.
Okay.
So. Just. I just don't want to do a time sheet. It's. I'm almost 80. I can get away from that.
Hey, I mean, To get sick leave and vacation
The
time,
part-time salary,
you need,
part-time salary,
at least 40 hours to work.
no, part-timers, yes.
I just wanted to say. So that it's on, on a recording that. The mayor does far
Oh,
more
yes,
work than, what he is asking.
Yes.
And I
we
am
work the Saturday.
appreciative of all the time you have, But with me specifically, catching me up to speed and, teach me the ropes, but yes, what you're asking, it pales in comparison to the amount of work that you actually do for the city.
Thank you. And she's learning every time too. She's really good.
No.
So,
Just make sure that you keep your vacation and sick leave and you're working enough hours to maintain that, you know.
Yes.
Yes, okay, that's somebody need to know.
I'd like to file a motion.
okay, go ahead.
I'd like to file a motion that we honor Mayor Harvey's request to earn a flat fee of $600 per month in lieu of keeping a timesheet, so we can have a flat fee compensation rate, and to include in that flat fee his ability to continue to earn his benefits, part-time benefits.
We got like 650 or something, because that's like 28 days, like,
Let's just leave it at my request. I'm fine.
Because I tried to convince him to take a higher rate.
just because the days in a month that you work more.
Alright, so
We have a
Are you seconding?
I
the
would
motion?
second that motion.
Okay, all in favor? Thank you very much. I appreciate it. It is an honor to be there and I kind of enjoy it too.
How long would you like to be honored to be mayor? Another
May
term?
May of 2026.
Can we convince you to do another term?
No,
No, just asking.
It's gonna be our,
He loves it so much.
he's gonna be our mentor. He's gonna be a mentor.
quite going that far. But anyways, I am on duty every
Every day.
day.
Now we need Don's, I think, his,
Yeah, let me call Don.
I have a question for Don when he's ready.
Okay.
Yeah, I heard him working. They're working at the day.
I was on that.
Oh,
Blind people then.
you gotta build a shed, put the electrical power on.
Don, can you talk about a couple of items on the agenda? Okay, well, we have 5G, receive updated, take appropriate action on proposed well number 3 on Country Lane. So.
Yeah.
We're-
One of my favorite topics. So, walk the other room, see a little more privacy for you. So, visit with, Big Game Drilling this morning, of course, a number of times last week. They should have completed today the cementing of the well. And what that involves is placing cement between the outside of this casing in the well and the borehole. We've had troubles last week, getting a good seal, because of what's called loss of returns. In other words, they weren't getting cement back towards the surface around 50 feet. The well blew out right in that area, so they had to put a lot of cement in there. Cement for a while and pull off for a day, come back and cement some more. But they should have completed that.
Yeah, they were out there today. Yeah.
The well, we test pumped it for a short period of time, early last week, and it was 100 gallons a minute, good quality water. And they took 2 days to clean up the well. We may have to go back and do some more cleaning, but they circulated the well and searched it, still trying to get sediments out of the well and the cuttings out. They did that earlier last week. I have visited we still have the frac tank on site. We hope to move it tomorrow. I asked BK's move it early last week. I visited with Andrew and Milestone last week about during our pump tests and cleaning operations, if we could discharge that water back towards Milestone property. He did agree to that. Wasn't happy, but he did agree to that. And so I asked BK Stone to take the crack away, but they kept it outside. I think it's supposed to end in tomorrow. So we're going to, we should be able to get pump tests, 36-hour pump test mode next week. And we'll set a mud bag, pump that water from the well through what's called a mud bag, which is a filter bag, pretty large filter bag, and then it will spread back towards the Milestone property. I looked at the possibility of picking up the line right away, but because of the hills and shallow ditches, I was worried about that water flowing back to the houses that are on the north side of the line. So I think we're having that managed without being
Is that ours?
test. So we're moving forward. We had one change order, it was 14,000 change. Did send over Mayor David Gann's chart. We're going to be probably around $200,000 total. And seeing that I mean, complete it all. That's about what we originally projected. It's a little higher. We'll have two other contractors come on site. One is going to be working with Pat Lyle of Waterworks to kind of go into the orange line that exists between the Country Lane well, the old well, and the Tankwoods tank. And I've already worked with him and described probably a disinfection program for that 4-inch lane, because it's been sitting there for a couple of years. Chlorinated, stock chlorinated, pump it out. And then the last step in the dance will be to move the fence. Order it is around the new well there.
Okay.
Should get there. Then once we get the pump test done, the back piece back, file everything. So they have to see.
I think Lydia has a question, John.
Don, when we move the fencing, will the old well, although it's been capped, will it be secured so that no one can walk on it or what have you?
Right, they'll have to clean up all the rock, and they've seen that, you can see there.
Uh-huh.
And then that little pump house goes away with the new rack at the boxes. Yep. And put a little shelter.
On the old or the new?
New way.
Right, what I'm asking is on the old one, will we safeguard it? Will it stay either cordoned off, fenced off, sealed off, so that
It'll be capped.
no one can go on there? I know it's been capped or what have you, but you know how there's been those crazy cases where someone will fall down an old well or what have you?
The well is totally flooded.
It doesn't see that, right?
Right.
That well, no more resistance, it's full of concrete and rock.
Okay. There will be nothing protecting it, the perimeter of that old well.
No, it'll be covered up. We left it a little bit below land surface.
Okay, thank you, sir.
No problem.
And so then the next step is when, after you bring in the two contractors next week, you finish the disinfection with the chlorinating and the old pump, then what's next?
Do the 36-hour spot test.
36-hour pump test, and when is that?
That should start next week.
And do we have all the permits in place to go live after that?
Yes, we have all permits in place to go live. There is one eye to dot, and that's submit the final plans to TCEQ with that's bacteriological samples back, we're good to go. Wait, if they come back good, I think that's you're good to go and look at it.
So we would go live, for example, February 1st?
I would hope so. I don't know of any hiccups. Now, I think next week's gonna be really cold.
Right,
forecast I saw.
right,
So, you don't want people out there pump test, with greasy conditions.
right.
So, a little bit like weather. Be sure, we don't put anybody in jeopardy or
Right,
bring a lot of ice.
Freeze the water.
right. So maybe mid-February at the latest?
Probably it's good.
Thank you, sir.
Anybody else have a question for Don?
I have a question, just our water right now is not coming from that side, correct? It's coming from the well over here in Tanglewood.
Yeah.
How does that well get connected to the homes that it'll be going to? Is that, those pipes already, that infrastructure is there?
Don,
Yeah.
can you answer her question?
Did you hear me?
Yes, water from the new well to the Tanglewood pump station in place already.
Right, in other words, which homes will be using which well?
Right.
Or is the water from Country Lane well number 3 gonna go to the Tanglewood well? And then we're gonna service from there? It's gonna go to the other well and we're gonna service from that big well.
That was my question. Just how does that happen? Is there digging to be done or is that all set? There. Got it.
Well, there's a 4-inch pipe there from the old well to the Tanglewood ground storage center.
So we'll be storing water that we're pumping from the new wells to the old well. To the Tanglewood loop.
Ground storage center, not the old well,
Right.
not well number 1 and number 2 at Tanglewood. It goes directly into the tank.
We'll be safeguarding it from the tank.
Thank you. I've been asked the question and didn't know the answer, so I appreciate you telling me.
What's that
Thank you.
capacity from the tank, Don?
100,000 gallons.
100,000 gallons. I have a question, if I may. Seeing all of these fires in California, and I don't believe we have a fire mitigation plan for our city. We have 100,000 gallons of water. Is that what a fire would use? To extinguish a fire in our neighborhood, or would the water come from somewhere else?
The water will probably come from all sources.
Heaven forbid.
That the development put in are operational to my knowledge. But
Do we test them?
the high school pumps may not be able to catch up with a lot of fire flow demand. But it will provide water, some water flow to a fire over truck that would be used to put out a fire. And if it's a real, poor people in California, it's acceptable.
Yeah.
If it's a fire like that, it's gonna be using all the regional items out there. to provide fire. Not such a big fire.
How do we know if our hydrants are working, sir? You just said if they're working.
Well, PGM is supposed to be checking those farms as part of their agreement with that city. Doing this open flow test. I know that we have sold water and several of our hydrants with all owners over the years. I know those hydrants are working. They are there, they will rust up. But we just have to operate each one to see if it will open up and, flow water properly.
Doesn't the fire department come and check them too?
They're supposed to do that, yes, sir. I have never seen them out because I'm not out there all the time. But they will come by and check them. And they're not designed though for fire slopes. And really by the current state rule, if they don't produce 250 gallons a minute or so, then we should paint them black. So the fire department knows. There's fire.
Paint them black?
Yeah.
Is there anything that we can do to be proactive about that? Because we're in a stage 3 drought, heading to 4, because we're surrounded by so many trees in our neighborhood, which are beautiful, but there's also so many homes that have them so close to their homes.
All the brush.
We've mitigated ours. Christine did hers, we did ours to move them away from the property. But a lot of folks have them over their roofs to the house and things like that. So should there be an emergency, we'd be in a pickle.
Oh, you're.
Don, I have a question. How many fire hydrants do we have in our neighborhood?
You generally have at the ends of lines, there's a fire hydrants there on a Hartley and Redbud. There's another one at Live Oak and Hartley. I'm sorry, yeah, Hartley.
Yeah, that's right by
There's
me.
one downstream of the city hall there at the end of the line. And I think there's one or two more along Red.
So we have six,
All service offerings, so boring.
we have 6 for 93 homes.
I haven't counted them exactly, but it's probably less than.
And that triggered my brain to bring up another thing, and that is Milestone needs to do some hazard mitigation.
Mhm.
Their place is really the fire hazard
Mhm.
that threatens our home.
Mhm. Absolutely.
My
That's all
home,
behind that.
right behind me is
Absolutely.
Milestones, overgrown, they never do anything. And that's not really on this agenda, but
We can put it on for, right.
yes.
I want to invite a fire department representative out to the city council meeting this kind of discuss,
Let's do this for February.
maybe upgrade, or, you know, what the requirements are, and the concerns that you have, which are very legitimate.
Yeah.
We just take all those trees,
Right.
but, it just takes one to go and it's dry and span, it can move very fast.
Yeah, invite Chief Huckabee here.
Let's do that for February.
Take a good idea.
I have a question, Don. Can we ask PMG,
PMS.
PMGMS to provide a report on the fire hydrants?
You can request that.
Yeah, it'd be better to get a report on fire hydrants. They should be able to tell us when they check them and what the condition is, fair, good, better. I don't know how they work.
Scope of work, I think Mayor Harvey needs to order it.
That's not scope of work. They already have it in their file. They're supposed to check it for agreement. Okay.
It's okay, I will send,
Okay, that'd be great.
an email with that.
Thanks. Any information that would be helpful for us to make any decisions we discuss in our February meeting.
Yes, sir, got it.
Any other questions on 5G? Then we'll move to 5I, which is receive, update, and take appropriate action concerning a request for qualifications for a city engineer. I think Christine can give us an update. She's been working real hard.
So our RFQ went live and we've had quite a few firms reach out requesting it. We have a spreadsheet with all the firms. We have received 3 responses to that RFQ. They're actually sitting right back there. Something that did come up was on the original RFQ that we received from Dawn, we had a due date of January 10th listed. One of the firms reached out and let us know that IMS, where the RFQ gets posted, it's a system where RFQs can get posted, actually had the due date listed as January 18th. So because of that discrepancy, we discussed that we would be honoring the January 18th deadline. So that is where we are at.
Good, so you have you received any RFQs in yet?
We have 3 of them. So in that spreadsheet that we shared, I added a column that shows that indicates who we have received them from. So we have received 3 responses. One of them, I can't remember entirely off the top of my head. I believe one of them is Meta Engineering. Another is Ryan Thomas. And then we have a 3rd, but we have received 3 so far.
Wonderful, of course, we'll hold those unsealed. they're not hit proposals, but qualifications. I think it's the correct move to use the public's time. And then published January 18th. Then, I would recommend that council hasn't created a committee, use the RFQs. And, there's actually a scoring system that we included as a score. Each proposals in terms of responsiveness. And, then would recommend the committee, recommend 1, 2, and 3. This looks like the best one to work with. Then meet with that firm and see if you can work out the details and the rates and all that.
Video.
Don, may I ask for your help in providing a matrix and a scoring packet?
Of course,
We greatly appreciate that,
absolutely.
so that our committee can begin working on that. They'll set an appointment or several appointments to review the packets.
After
It's gonna take some time. Mhm.
And the detailed RFQ was only a very small paragraph of the system, but it has in the last thing how the user scored.
Okay,
And it's probably what, an 8-page document, something like that. That you'll have, but I'll be glad to do that.
Christine?
So we do currently have a committee, an RFQ committee. Cynthia was on that committee. I don't believe that she'll be able to fulfill those duties since she is on leave. Would you recommend that we add somebody in her place?
Could you inform the council of who's on the committee as of now?
So as of now, Councilman Valdez, myself, Cynthia, and then B. Wright are on the committee.
Would somebody else like to be on the committee?
Do we need more than that?
I don't think we need more than that.
So
There's
that's-
3, right? There's 3.
Yeah. And are you, is the council comfortable with you being on the
I was
committee?
gonna ask if that's just for Elliott Ranch, not for the city of Hayes. It's wonderful, but should it be someone?
Water. Is such a big part of it.
Hiring a water expert?
Yeah.
Right, engineer, I mean,
The city engineer is going to be dealing with Elliott Ranch.
And would the council like Don to be on the committee?
If that's appropriate, yeah.
Any opinion? Don, would you like to be on the committee?
Happy to do this at the council's pleasure, if you wish.
So Christine, Tony, D. Wright, and Don.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
We can take
We'll need
D
to-
right off and we.
No, council's, Shannon says it's important that she stay.
I can do it. It's important. I just said that job, he would be dealing, he or she, is the engineer would be dealing with Elliott Ranch.
I get the, excuse me.
Yeah.
The question is, did D. Wright know she's in the committee?
Well, that's what I was gonna say is, I would call her and make sure
Yeah.
she's comfortable.
Okay,
Yeah, to be honest.
yeah.
And then when would the committee meet? And
Well,
where?
We'd have to.
The way I process the RFQs when I do them for work, when I have 10 or 12 come, I make one copy of the proposals, I score them myself. Nobody sees them. We are under duty to review them individually, score them individually, and then we get together, score them individually, and then we get together and meet and finalize the score. And then all the scores together, and then rate them 1, 2, 3.
Which one will do a standalone?
Right,
Not discuss it until we're out.
right,
So that's a good idea, not having too many people in the committee.
right.
Okay,
There should also be a non-disclosure agreement. Signed by each member of the team. Since it's a big
It's an
award,
ethical thing.
it's a big award and it's a matter of ethics. Everyone sign a non-disclosure before they start scoring.
Are you familiar with the non-disclosure agreement on RFQs for engineers?
No, I haven't seen that before, doesn't mean it can't happen. Okay, normally we distribute the RFQs to the committee members. And just ask them not to reveal anything. And it may be that the committee wants to meet, review them together officially, but not at a public meeting. We don't want to have 3 council members somewhere on the committee, on the review committee, and it might be that you want to call 1 or 2 of them that are kind of the top candidates, kind of feel them out maybe in person, phone, and then asking them for an interview for the committee and or the council.
It's a non-disclosure agreement.
Well-
With Travis County.
Yeah, they're happening. The person who provides it, yeah.
Ins and outs.
Yeah. I mean, $40 contracts.
Well, if the committee would like to do one, would you prepare one
Sure,
based on?
I'll go.
Joshua can do a very brief non-disclosure agreement for each member.
You do it, yeah. And John.
I can write it out. You're thinking type it and we can, and each of us should sign it. That's all that they.
Or if Don is saying that he's just gonna provide a directive, then they'll respect that.
Okay.
Be directed to not
Okay,
discuss it amongst yourselves.
okay. Yeah,
Well, if you want to do a non-disclosure agreement, I suggest somebody make a motion. We take a vote on.
Don, do you feel that it's necessary to have an NDA or not?
I have not seen that before in this sort of,
Okay, Arena.
I can understand why maybe larger cities do that. This is, I've never sat in play. I mean, if I'm on the committee, tell me not to talk to anybody at home. And, I want to call it as a committee.
what happens in the committee is once you elect as a committee member, you're not supposed to. If a firm call you, you're not supposed to respond to them or anything once the deadline is passed. During the process of initiating the RFQ into the deadline, you don't talk to them. They're on their own to submit it.
Okay, yes.
I do have a question based upon that statement. Is there any conflict of interest for me being on the committee if I am also helping with the city secretary's duties? Because I've been the one responding, providing the RFQ.
I mean,
That's not a bad question.
you're not providing engineering decisions or anything like that. You're just providing documentation, which is.
Right.
It's just providing
I think once,
logistics.
I'm sorry, no, you were speaking. I interrupted you, go ahead.
No information regarding details specific to the RFQ, only deadlines, things like that, so it is on leave, so nothing else was provided. I don't think there's a conflict.
Okay.
And once the deadline
Passes.
passes, then you're not gonna have any other,
Other duties and I'll just be acting.
somebody emails you, say, sorry, too late.
You know, an extra week.
Mhm.
All right,
Okay.
I think we're finished with 5I.
Well, what do we have them-
Just a second, yeah.
If the RFQ closes on the 18th, so the committee collectively, or maybe someone, maybe we can do it, Mayor Harvey has set a schedule. So if it closes on the 18th, then we would need the matrix, the scoring packet and what have you. And then they would need ample time to review the packets, unless we're gonna copy each one, which they're large packets. We won't want to copy them all and issue out 4 copies of each one.
Let me respond to this. Usually when in the RFQ was this done, we asked them to send multiple copies. So then each member has a copy.
Right.
We did-
Right,
And you
Yes.
you can't look at it until after the deadline.
right.
Right.
So,
Did they send solo? or
No.
four?
No, in our RFQ request, I believe we requested 6 printed copies as well as a thumb drive.
And they did provide.
To my
Or
knowledge,
is it-
that's what we requested.
Okay.
So you gotta unseal the
good.
package and open it.
Yeah.
Can't do that
Well,
until
that's the
deadline.
18th. Yeah.
Correct.
okay,
Perfect.
So the copies are done.
yes. Oh, are we finished?
I just want to know when this information, the matrix, the packet, when will that be received by Dawn, from Dawn?
They send it here.
No, Dawn is going to give us a matrix and a scoring
Oh,
packet. The guide, the review.
I guess that's a question for Don.
Sure, Dawn?
I will do that. There's actually one in the full RFQ
Yeah.
request,
Sorry.
but I'll pull it out and send that to everybody.
Which is the matrix and the scoring packet?
Uh-huh, in the
Mhm.
full,
Okay,
should be in the last section.
thank you, Dawn.
Thank you, Don. I think we're finished.
Thank y'all so much. Y'all have a good
We
evening.
appreciate you, sir.
Thank you, Don. Appreciate it.
We won't call you again.
Let's get the well done.
Not until tomorrow. Are we gonna have a well party? That's what I wanna know.
We're having a real pleasure.
Are we gonna have a well party, Dawn?
Are we gonna have a barbecue out
We
there and a
want
fire?
any
Oh,
excuse
the
there.
barbecue.
We're gonna have barbecue by the well,
A barbecue?
by the well over there, roast.
We're gonna have water spouting out, the whole thing.
Have the hydrant.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay.
Let's have some order, please. This is the last agenda item, K5J. Receive update and take a public action regarding upcoming May 2025 city elections. I have one question. You sent an email asking for verbiage, and I didn't quite understand that.
I sent it to you and to Candace, I believe. There was a template verbiage that we would send out. We would email it and say if anyone's interested in applying or what have you. Do you have that in your history, in your archives?
I don't think I did that. I don't know.
I know that we would-
given copies of it. Connie had.
Well,
folders,
all those
you know,
records
and they're
vanished,
gone. It
so.
was a very extensive amount, because when I would pick up my, she had packets.
Mhm.
Packets explained all of everything,
Mhm.
but apparently you're not required to give people a packet. They just have to be given that basic information.
Right.
That can be provided in the Hays Happenings.
Because the deadline to apply, if we're gonna put it in the Hays Happenings, or we're gonna put it on the website, we need
I didn't
to,
know this
we
week,
need to
but
post that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, Christine, will you be able to take up on giving people the application if they want to apply for a seat on the council? We have, I think, 3 seats. Hopefully, everybody, whether you're incumbent or a non-incumbent, would have to apply. And we need to make sure that whoever takes the application knows to get their voter ID, make sure that they're qualified to be on the council, and some basic stuff like that.
Driver's license, voter ID, and then filing the application before the deadline.
Yeah,
Those
and
things.
so if
You have to reside in the city for 6 months prior to the election.
Yeah. So the Secretary of State website has a lot of good information, basic information. And they're some basic election courses that could be taken by TML or the Clerks Association. I think Cynthia got fairly, comfortable with that process. So is that something you would be willing to take up? And the filing period is January 15th, February
14th.
14th. Yeah, so it's 1 month,
You said January 15th through.
February 14th.
yeah.
We need to decide procedure, because usually we would just say come to City Hall during the hour, you know,
Right.
whatever hours, but since we're not having regular hours now, we don't have to have regular hours if you want to take phone calls and make arrangements to meet people.
But they just, on the 14th, by a certain timeline, all applications have to be received by that day. So it's usually 5 PM.
Yeah.
Anyone wants to apply must apply before February 14th at 5 PM.
And apply anytime they want after the 15th.
They've always historically, it comes in right at the end.
Usually, but somebody
Yeah.
else will.
And we can all meet up here and have a little party.
On Valentine's
And
Day.
there are 3
Let's
seats
do that.
that are up for reelection.
Correct. Fine.
Not
Do
mine.
you remember when Gail applied?
Yes.
Yes.
And the final hour, the last 5 minutes, Gail decided to take the seat.
And I had a connection fit.
She did. But she was great at it. She enjoyed it so much.
She reminded me of that all the time.
Yes, we did.
So, when
Like,
I,
remember when you didn't want her to join the council?
I'm glad you did it.
Who has to run?
And Mayor Harvey said, you did this. And I didn't.
yeah.
I didn't do it.
Now, when
You
you,
wanted
when you
to
send
apply.
that out, can you send it to my personal email? Is that
Your
possible?
position is your position up? Yours up? You're up again?
I'm up.
I'm up too.
Let's just all do it at the same.
Where's the other one?
You.
Let's all just do it at the same time.
Kansas?
Do it tomorrow.
We can
It's
all
on
do it.
15.
Let's just do it.
When you do what?
Apply the application.
Fill out your application.
Can't
You're
do
gonna
it.
have an application
Yes.
party?
It's be on the 15th. We can do it on Saturday.
15th.
We can do it on Saturday. We can all come and reapply.
Okay.
You gotta bring your license, your birth
Voters,
certificate,
no.
your
birth
passport.
You don't want mine.
What was it?
Mine's in a
Let's start
different,
on
lang-
birthday.
mine's in a different
The
language.
voter ID, driver license, and
Reborn.
that's it.
And
Friends.
Huh?
I knew that.
Place 4, place 5,
I didn't know where my church is.
and place 1
No.
are all up
No,
for.
My dad was in the military.
Well, the time.
So
So I'm
we're gonna
happy
set
to
up, we're
help
gonna
with
have
this,
this
but
meeting
I'm
on
definitely
Saturday.
going
What,
to
we're
be
gonna send out.
reaching out,
First for it.
of course, you know. I'm gonna
And
make
this
sure
is
that
really
we're
good too.
Doing this
Okay,
properly.
let's,
I'm sorry, we're all talking.
I have a TML,
I'm
I'm gonna
sorry.
look at everything I can find on TML, and maybe we can print some kind of little thing.
Candace will help us.
There's the form that.
Give it like the Secretary of State.
I'll do some research and try to.
The form in the packet of exactly what.
Secretary of State.
Speak once at a time.
If I remember correctly, the packet, the form, that's all, follow the form that you filled out, that's all you needed. Why? And I don't know where that form is.
They're right there.
Saturday's got school to be, this Saturday, this
Let's do it on
Saturday.
Saturday.
Come do it on Saturday.
And then we'll wait to see who's gonna be challenged. That's
All
right,
right.
we'll have half the office.
So we'll have the meeting, the meeting will be here.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think we're finished. I would make a motion to adjourn if somebody likes.
Oh, I wait before, I have one thing
Yeah.
to let you know, I will not be here on February. Which is the next meeting, right?
Okay. At least we don't fix you up.
It's not 7:11.
2 in a row.
Are you going back to London?
No, I'm going to next.
Okay.
Nice.
Adjourning. Anyone who's gonna make a motion?
I'd like to file a motion to adjourn this meeting.
I second.
It is 8:19.
Okay, it was quick.
We'll see you guys
Sign,
Saturday.
turn it off.
We'll see you guys Saturday.
Part of